Remember, I'm a primitive painter here.
That's okay, you can. But see if you like it. Once you try one like this on an orange background, then try the exact same thing on a blue background and see if you like it. Test drive it. I did it with a series of Mount Rainiers and ferry boats that we have in our area, because this dusty gray blue is kind of the color we have when the sun sets around our area. The whole background literally was this dusty gray blue. So why don't I just start with dusty gray? Whole back dusty gray blue. Did the chunks of Mount Rainier there in sunlight. Did the front of the ferry boat in sunlight. Did the edge of the mountain. And it was such a cold and boring piece, and it just would not sell for 3 years. It just moved from gallery. But the warm version of it did. So for me, it worked to say, right there, if I want sales, I got to do that. Try it for yourself and test drive and see. Make that one of your little, and it doesn't have to be a huge piece. You're just a little guy.
What is your dusty blue? What are the colors for your dusty blue?
Anything between the indigo and so the purple mixed with white.
Just purple and white?
Purple and white. For the
That
most part.
dioxide purple?
And if you don't have that dioxide purple, you can take your your phthalo blue and your quinacridone rose and make a purple and add white. Now the other thing, that problem is, you have to remember that if you simplify a mountain to the point where you only have one value and a second value, you better make sure at some point you've got your pieces broken up, because in your paintings, you may not see them in your I'm so tired of this painting, I want to get done with it. There are pieces of the dark value in your lights, and vice versa, there are whites in your dark areas. So make sure you have not just done either or in your great big chunks of puzzles. You have to make sure you've broken up those great big dark areas. I am. And well, I'm even better since they moved my air flight forward. I was actually going to take, you get the airport, you get there early and say, hi, can I pay $50 just to get on earlier? And they're probably gonna say, no, or something nasty, but hey, they did it for me by calling me and saying this morning, your flight's been canceled. Okay, what are we gonna do? Fly out earlier. If the sunlight's coming from this direction, oftentimes there'll be more peachy pink whites here, and as it gets further away, you can, or if it goes further in the distance, you can then change what was warm pink values to your mountain to the cooler ones. So there are ways to give the subconscious view that your mountain range is getting further and further away from you by removing any of the warm tones to it and just keeping it mostly cools. I rinsed over here and I don't have much dark areas to figure out where are dark areas. The background should have soft, fuzzy, broken up edges. I should not have perfect, dark, hard edges on something that's in the background. Those edges should be soft because they are far away. As you get closer, your values can get darker and darker and darker as they get closer to you. But if they're still in the background of what you're working on, they should have broken edges. Broken edges can be, or rough edges can be established by dry brush strokes, so you've got broken edges that way. They can be established by painting wet into wet. So you put a brush stroke in, but it softens on its own because it's floating on the water. Those soft edges are important to a painting to say, I'm in the distance, and not have hard edges everywhere through your painting. That same thing goes for bouquets of flower. The back half of that bouquet of flowers had better be soft and fuzzy. Just the forward flowers get to have all the crisp, hard edges. So every subject matter you're working on, the rules are pretty much the same because you're trying to keep the eye interested and kind of looking only in where the eye is important. So you want to travel around the painting, but you want it to kind of rest in the center. You don't want to give it too much information going off an edge. So broken up edges, either by scubbling, how much the term is. I'd rather see some color mixing on the canvas, and little bits of color variety changing throughout your canvas here. As opposed to,
After and trying to put it on?
I'd rather see that than have you pre-mix an entire exact wad of the same gray and go all the way across everything with the exact.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay,
Okay,
okay, bye.
so I'm just getting, at least, I'm trying to paint fast. I would paint a little bit slower and more carefully, but I'm trying to get the class going so you guys cannot sit on your butts all day long. Warmth, working our way to kind of cools, so you can see, jump here. That says warmer over there than over there. It gives a subconscious feeling of the sun being on that side. You can use great big brushes, but sometimes they're just too big. You know, if you're only getting one stroke across the canvas, this is probably a little bit too big of a brush. Okay, done. But if you're in a hurry and you got 30 minutes before the soccer team's showing up and you gotta feed them all, whatever, you know, you gotta make your own choices. I don't have something in between right now. I kinda stupidly bought large and intermediately small.
That's a pretty color.
That is that silly fluorescent pink. I love it mixed in with, I couldn't get a certain color, hence a medium deep recently, but if I mixed the fluorescent orange in with my regular cat orange, it made that color, but I couldn't take just regular orange and mix it in with my yellow to get the same color, so I have no idea why the fluorescent colors are kind of awesome. When used in, watch
But-
out for whatever's on the edge of your brush.
But that fluorescent
But
pink,
it's all wet, and so guess what? Paper towels are great for blending. You know, if you wanted to, so hey, went into the fog, look at that.
So Jennifer, that left corner was just fluorescent orange and regular orange, is that what you said?
So I started out with